Osrc News at 7. Ondo Amotekun Corps naps 2 teenage armed robbers terrorizing Ijare community. President Buhari preaches love and religious tolerance as Christians celebrate Easter. Sokoto State House of Assembly Speaker downs APC for PDP from the foreign saying floods kills hundreds of people in South Africa. Thank you very much for joining us on the news at 7. I am Oyewumi Ayinigbera. 2 underage armed robbers who named themselves after 2 Nigeria's notorious robbers, Oyenusi and Anini, have been arrested by operatives of Ondo Amotekun.
Those who lived in the 80s and the 90s in Nigeria will never forget the 2 notorious armed robbers, Lawrence Anini and Oyenusi, who were eliminated by firing squad. Some notorious robbers have now taken after the old Anini and Oyenusi, this time in Ijare, federal local government area of Ondo State, terrorizing and robbing innocent residents of their valuables. They are these 2 suspected underage robbers, 16-year-old Ojo Sunday, nicknamed Oyenusi, and 14-year-old Timileyin Femi, known as Anini, who are living up to expectations of their nickname, going by the robbery operations they have carried out so far. The 2 teenagers who confessed to the crimes said their mothers, who were also paraded, fortified them as members of their gang with local charms so that they won't be arrested. They also told the newsmen that they borrow guns from this hunter, simply known as Odemi, who they always give 2,000 naira after their operations. Parading them alongside other criminals at their Amotekun headquarters in Apre, Commander of the Corps, Adetunji Adeleye, said one of the teenagers was arrested 2 years ago and remanded in a juvenile home that was later released.
But this time around, he has graduated. You can see the weapons they use. He has graduated now to full-blown armed robbery operations on the main roads. And he operates a 7-group member. He's the youngest, but he's the most vicious and powerful. That's the one codenamed Oyenusi. This is the member of the group, and this, and this.
Adeleye said the apprehension of the suspected criminals was in furtherance of the Amotekun's 24 hours operations during this Easter celebration to make the state inhabitable for criminals. While saying the Corps will forward outcome of its investigation to the Department of Public Prosecution for legal advice, Adeleye urged residents to be vigilant and report any strange movements in their localities to Amotekun operatives and other security agencies for prompt action.
Please don't leave your children in the car. And if they don't have any role to play where you are going, please leave them at home. We were able to find out from those apprehended and paraded earlier that some of the times they don't even know these victims. They'll just
Our reporter Joy Pius examines this trend in the transport sector of Ondo State, which is placing residents under untold hardship.
The fuel situation appears to have improved greatly as queues have disappeared in the filling stations visited in Akure, the Ondo State capital. Many of the stations have also returned prices to the official rates. These, according to residents and motorists, has brought huge relief.
tẹ́ pé ọjọ́ méjì taxi driver lè má rí epo rà bọ̀ nísìnyí irú ìkíù bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn kò sí mọ́.
Transport fare for short distance in Akure metropolis was 50 naira before it was jacked up early this year following the hike in price of fuel. However, with government's efforts in regularizing fuel price in the state, commuters expected that transport fare would have returned to normal. But transporters seem to be in no mood to return fare even after normalcy has returned to the state. They called on government to intervene swiftly as it poses a lot of challenges.
Bí mo ṣe rí ọ̀rọ̀ ilé epo yìí sí ó dàbí ẹni pé àwọn èèyàn wa ò fẹ́ kó wálẹ̀ rárá àtọ̀. Táwọn ọlọ́kadà bá sọ pé 100 naira bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ná 50 naira wọ́n ní ẹ̀ṣẹ́ ìgbà tí epo ti wálẹ̀ èsì ṣé wọn ò ra páàtì ni irú kan yẹn ò dáa àwa fúnra wa àwa ènìyàn fúnra wa là ń fi kan nira wa lọ́rùn.
The governor in Ondo State, another governor, talk to them. Okay, this is talk to the taxi driver and the chairman of the taxi driver. This is our month we want you to be picking and drop your passenger.
While some commercial transporters claimed they have since returned to the normal price, others have ascribed the increase to some commodities in the state, such as car spare parts.
Since the price of the fuel have been regulated, our chairman have instructed us to be carrying the price, the normal price we have been carrying before. So we have reduced the price here, so I don't know of the other part.
All these parts is very, very expensive now. Talking about oil filter, even tire, everything now expensive now, more than they are selling it before. So that's why they increased the number, and it's not that increased, it just puts small change.
It's not because of fuel. Everything has changed, everything has cost. If you look at it very well, we pay for school fees and we take care of our family. So this transport is not that easy, but we are just keep on pushing.
Worried by the outcry of the people over the hike in transport fare in Ondo State, the Senior Special Assistant to Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu on special duties and strategy, Dr. Doyin Odeboale, said every attempt to make life difficult for the masses will not be accepted.
When there was scarcity of fuel, any filling station, any station where we go to, we ensure that we attended to them. We have ensured that nobody extorts money from them. So they have no reason to make things difficult for the people, and that is unacceptable to us. Do they buy parts every day? You buy motorcycle parts every day or what?
To the 2022 Appropriation Act, which raised the subsidy on petrol by over 400 billion naira, now making it 4 trillion naira. The Senate and the House of Representatives considered and adopted a report on the amendment bills at plenary on Thursday based on the request by President Muhammadu Buhari. The Federal Parliament approved a new oil price benchmark of $73 per barrel, as well as new oil production volume of 1.6 million per day. The President had written to the National Assembly to call for amendment to the budget and fiscal framework for 2022. You may be right or wrong to submit that mere coincidence has brought about the observance of Christians' Lent and Muslim fasts in the month of Ramadan at the same time, year 2022. But the scenario has sparked conversation around the impact of the religious activities on curbing prevalence of societal ills, particularly in Nigeria, a country which has over 90% of its population belonging to either of the religion. Why the incidents of crime and abuses are still prevalent in society, suggesting that the period is not totally free of ills, which the religious tenets preach.
This period has records of sad tales.
There's not two ways about it. Social ills will continue unless the needful is done. If the government is not giving us all the necessities, the basic requirements of life, first, before making demands on us.
National dailies are usually awash with crime stories, those of immorality and abuses among others, thus begging the question whether religion is really affecting way of life.
The dignity of human life is what we should hold. It should be paramount. We should hold it in high esteem. Killing ordinarily, Quran condemned it totally. And in the Holy Bible, it is also condemned. Now, and we are in the holy months. People are fighting in the right hand.
Must seek the face of God at all times. On the rampant cases of spousal killings, domestic abuse, and violent crimes, Primate Ademishokun Totten admonished the entire body of Christ to redouble its steadfastness, saying, "Their kingdom is not of this inferior world."
Our relationship with God should be a personal encounter, a personal relationship. If Jesus has not had personal relationship with the Father, then his assignment will have been delayed. So he saw it coming because he prepared himself, having a close relationship, that is with God. So that is what we're supposed to do. Those who are shouting Hosanna to us can change their mind tomorrow. Can you imagine Jesus losing an election? Because there was an election that day before Pilate. Pilate had to tell them, which among these two you want me to release to you, Jesus or Barabbas? But they choose Barabbas, who is a thief and a murderer. So that is the way of life of people. People don't like the truth, even though they want.
Has condemned the rising insecurity in Nigeria, especially the recent killings in Benue, Taraba, and Plateau states. The lawmakers who stated this at plenary demanded the removal of National Security Advisor Babangana Monguno and the Minister of Defense Bashar Magashi. The legislators also alleged that security agents were aiding bandits and other criminals, adding that huge security funds are not being justified. They also alleged that the security chiefs were benefiting from security in the country because of the huge funds being allocated to the defense sector. No fewer than 7 people were killed when gunmen attacked Kanan and Wase communities in Plateau State. And now President Muhammadu Buhari will on Tuesday meet with service chiefs amid the increased security challenges in the country. The president had earlier today presided over a meeting of the Council of State at the presidential villa, Abuja, where discussions in the meeting were said to be mostly centered on the economy and insecurity. The meeting, which started at 10 a.m., was attended by Vice President Yemi Oshibajo, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, National Security Advisor Babangana Monguno, and the Chief of Staff to the President, Professor Ibrahim Gambari. Former heads of states physically in attendance were Abdusalami Abubakar, Goodluck Jonathan, and Yakubu Gowon. Others attended the meeting virtually from their various locations. State governors in attendance were Hope Ozodinma of Imo State, Kayode Fayemi of Ekiti State, Atiku Bagudu of Kebbi State, and Bello Matawali of Zamfara State, Nasir El-Rufai of Kaduna State, among others, while other governors also attended virtually. You're still watching OSRC News at 7. After the commercial break, we'll bring you more stories. Please stay with us.
After a fruitful Ramadan day, replenish your body with the right nutrients. Make this your best Ramadan yet. Ramadan Kareem from Hollandia Dairy and Chivita Fruit Juice.
Thank you very much for joining us on the news. You can watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng or follow us on Facebook, OSRC TV Ondo, and on YouTube you can subscribe to our channel, OSRC TV Ondo. Speaker, Sokoto State House of Assembly Aminu Achide has dumped the All Progressives Congress APC for the People's Democratic Party PDP. The Speaker presented the letter of his defection to the Assembly during the plenary session today. Also, a member of the State House of Assembly representing Wamako 2 constituency, Matala Bello Magona, has dumped the APC for the PDP. The challenges confronting the power sector in Nigeria is ravaging all sectors of the Nigerian economy. The recurring collapse of the national grid continues to raise questions on the functionality and effectiveness of players in the power sector. Against this background, OSRC Current Affairs program, The Big Issue, will tomorrow examine the economy of national power failures between 5:30 and 7 in the evening. Executive Director, Niger Delta Power Holding Company Limited, Ifeoluwa Oyedele, will be leading the conversation. A university don, Dr. Benga Bimbola, and a publisher, Mr. Daisy Adetarami, will be on the panel giving insight on the program. Our online audience can join us live on our website, www.osrc.org. Had said over 100 of the passengers are yet to be accounted for. Of the 362 validated passengers on board the attacked train service on March 28, 186 persons on the manifest are confirmed to be safe and at their various homes, while the whereabouts of 168 remain still unknown. The train left Abuja on March 28 at about 6 o'clock in the evening and was on its way to Kaduna when it was attacked. Pastor Paul Eneche has broken his silence following the passing of his member and popular gospel singer Osinachi Nwachukwu, insisting that his church does not tolerate domestic violence. Osinachi died last week in Abuja, with her death sparking some controversy and the deceased family formally filing a complaint of culpable homicide against Mr. Peter Chukwu's husband has been arrested days after her death in hospital in Abuja. Also, the Senate has asked the police to investigate the death of gospel singer Osina